Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're doing what I'm calling killer cores and burning buns. All we're gonna need today is an exercise ball. I really prefer the bender ball. You can get that at barabove.com. I just love the kind of texture and the stretchiness to this one, but you can use any exercise ball or Pilates ball that you like. I just really don't recommend using a weighted medicine ball. We're not using this for any sort of weight training today, and if it's weighted, it's honestly just gonna make the workout more difficult and not in a good way. You could definitely use a kid's like kickball too, that classic red rubber ball would totally be great. Just make sure that it's something that can hold a little bit of your weight because we don't want it to pop, we don't want it to deflate on us because we are going to be using it for some balance challenges today. So other than that, all you need is your mat. If you're on the carpet, I do recommend using a mat for this portion because we're going to be rolling a little bit and we don't want that ball to get stuck anywhere on our carpet. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. We're going to do a little warm up. I want your feet to be right below those sits bones, nice and parallel. We've got the ball over to one side. We're just going to start with a little squat and wood chop. We're going to do that 30 seconds on each side. Today we have a total of 25 exercises. It should be give or take about 30 minutes, maybe a little over. So go ahead, squat it on down. And I want you to bring it up and rotate. Notice that my heel came up off of the floor. So we're warming up those glutes, those quads, those calves. We're also warming up that pelvic girdle, that sling, that core. We're gonna do 30 seconds of this on each side. We're gonna switch sides at about 20 here. Really make sure that you're using that heel to follow through with the entire exercise, just like if you had a golf swing or even a baseball or a hockey stick. All right, last one here, and go ahead, take it on over to the other side, same thing. Squat it down, follow through. Just warming everything up. Today it's about mostly medium impact, a little low impact, nothing too high impact today. That doesn't mean you're not gonna be sweating, that you're not gonna be shaking, and you're not gonna feel those abs and core burning. Inside 10 seconds here, we're gonna go ahead and go to a back lunge with a press. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see me here. So we've got our ball right at our chest here. Go ahead, switch it up each time and just press it on out. Bring those arms back, lunge back. Again, I'm switching feet each time. I am not wearing tennis shoes today. I didn't mention that in the beginning, but we are going to be doing some rolling exercises on the ball, so I just personally find the tennis shoes to be a little cumbersome. You can absolutely use bar socks, grip socks, Pilates socks, whatever you call them, if you would like. Again, just warming up those legs, warming up those arm and back muscles here. We've got one more warm-up exercise after this, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with our exercises. It's full body exercise today, but there's a special emphasis on core and glutes. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go into a deadlift with an extension. So go ahead, take that ball on down. Keep those legs as straight as you can, but there's a slight softness in your knees. Bring it forward, ball goes overhead, and go ahead, let your back go into a little bit of an extension there. Nothing crazy. Protect that low back. Not circus the leg. I don't expect you to flip backwards or anything here. Just really warming up the spine, getting it ready. We're gonna get started standing in about 30 seconds here. Starting off super easy, just warming up those chest muscles. Starting with a little ball press here. If you came of age in the 80s, you will be very familiar with this exercise. If you read a Judy Blume novel, you're going to be very familiar with it. Last one here. All right, go ahead, face me here if you turn sideways. So the ball right between my hands, right at chest height here, and we're just going to do a little squeeze, that little we must. Just a small squeeze and release. We're going to do each exercise for 1 minute today. Easing in really gentle here, just getting that upper body firing and working. Shoulder blades are back and down. Don't let those shoulders get all crunched up here. I really want you to focus on taking this slow. Now I want you to pay attention. If you find you kind of have this little steering wheel motion here, when you're pressing, it means that one arm is working a little harder than the other. So if you find that happening, just go ahead, slow it down, really focus on it, use a lot of control, make sure both arms, both sides of your chest are firing at the exact same time. And don't forget to breathe, especially if you're concentrating. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with some squats here. I want that ball to be between your thighs, right above the knee joint, not between the knees, otherwise we put too much pressure on the inside. Feet are nice and parallel. We're gonna go into a little squat here, so the glutes far back behind you. When you get down here, I want you to squeeze those inner thighs together and release. Bring it back up. I told you, buns will be burning. We're also gonna do a lot of inner thigh work today. It's great for that leg strength, as well as that pelvic floor. Everything is always functional as usual. Glutes are going far back behind me. Knees are not going beyond my toes. If this is not your first exercise with me, then at this point you should probably know the drill when it comes to my squats. How are those buns doing? How are those inner thighs doing? Mine are screaming already. Uh-oh. The good news is we're gonna take it down to the floor immediately here. We're gonna go into a quadruped position, hands and knees. Meet me there now. We're gonna do a little donkey kick with a ball squeeze, working on those glutes again, as well as those hamstrings. Pick a side, any side, doesn't matter. I'm gonna start with my right side. Hands are below my shoulders, knees are below my hips. Core is engaged here, I'm not dumping into that low back, keep it strong. Take that up. Little squeeze here, I don't know if you can even see it. So we're keeping that nice 90-degree angle into that little donkey kick, and then I'm taking that heel to my glute as far as I can, which honestly is like maybe a quarter of an inch, that's what it feels like. But trust me, if you're doing it at home, even though it looks really small, it doesn't look like much, it sure does feel like a lot. We're gonna switch sides in about 15 seconds here. And then we're gonna go ahead and give your glutes a little bit of a break here, just a little. All right, go ahead, switch sides. Taking that over to my left. And go ahead, take that kick and squeeze. I like to keep my foot dorsiflexed here. I find that that really helps my glutes get in on the action. When I say dorsiflex, I essentially just mean like if you're, in a kicking pressing position. My toes are pointed towards my calves. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and go into a little bit of a plank here. Nothing crazy, it's called a bear plank. Same quadruped position, hands and knees, but that ball is gonna go in between our legs. And we're gonna add on a little squeeze, a little extra inner thigh work, because I love ya. I need to squish my ball down just a little bit here. There we go. Got away from me, it happens. This is one of the videos that may have a blooper reel if my ball escapes at some point. So if you see a little jump cut, if you're at home watching this, you know what happened. All right, go ahead and take that ball between those thighs again, just like we did with our squats. Toes are curled under, nice deep breath. Exhale, go ahead and cover those knees just a bit. Give me 3 squeezes here. 1, 2, and 3. Lower it down. Bring it back up. 1, 2, and 3. Now, if this is not enough for you, if you feel a little more advanced, you are welcome to keep those knees hovering the entire time and just keep squeezing. All right, inside 20 seconds here, we're gonna get into a push-up. You can do this push-up on your knees, or you can do it with your legs fully extended. I'm gonna do it on my knees. There's also a balance challenge involved in this exercise. Last one here. And bring it on down. I want you to take the ball underneath one hand. Doesn't matter which, we'll switch in about 30 seconds. Find that nice knee plank position and go ahead and take it into a push-up. So we're doing a little unilateral push-up here, a little extra balance challenge. I can see my ball shaking. This is why I mentioned earlier that we want to make sure that our ball can support our weight a little bit. Go ahead and switch sides for me here. Only 30 seconds on each side, don't worry. Won't make you do a full minute on each side. Make sure that core is staying strong. After this, we're gonna go ahead, take it into a plank. That ball is gonna go underneath your knees. We're gonna be rolling that ball, taking those knees in and out. If you're a little taller, you might wanna start with that ball a little higher on your legs. All right, go ahead, take that ball, take my mat with me, right underneath those knees. We're gonna plank on our elbows here. It's important that you plank on your elbows, otherwise we can't do the movement. Hands are shoulder width apart so my scapula stay back and down. Go ahead, we're gonna take those knees in and take them on out. Going for a little jackrabbit here. Glutes are gonna come up towards the ceiling just a little bit. Really working that lower ab. We're getting into a small plank series here. Your next two exercises after this will also be planks. You will have the ball to support you. Well, they are core focused. Planks also work every single muscle group, big and small in the body. All right, we're doing that same thing. We're just gonna rotate to one side. I want you to take your knees over to one elbow. See that there? Perfect, take it out. We're gonna switch off each time. Knees go to one elbow, bring it back to that plank. If you've done reformer Pilates before, you've probably done this on the reformer, especially in my class, they're one of my favorites. Can you guys hear my son downstairs? Maybe you can't hear it if there's music, but he has found his voice and he loves to talk. All right, inside 15 seconds, we're gonna hold that plank static. We're gonna go for a little side hip dip. Last one here. Take it down to that nice plank position. We're just gonna rotate our hips to one side, tap it down, bring it back. Rotate the hips to one side, take it down, bring it back. I'm letting myself rotate through that pelvis. I'm keeping my shoulders nice and stable the whole time. We're gonna go into a side lying position next here. Need my notes so I can see them. Or no, excuse me, we're gonna actually lay down completely, go into Superman. Seconds left. How's that core feeling? I said it was killer core, I wasn't lying. Got 10 seconds left. We're gonna go ahead and grab that ball with our hands. One more each side here. All right, grab that ball on out. We're laying flat down on our stomach. Hands are above our head, straight out. We're gonna go into a little Superman here. Now I want you to tuck that pelvis under, protect that low back. As you exhale, we're gonna lift. And inhale, lower. We're gonna do this for a full minute here, and then we're gonna hold it static for a whole minute, squeezing that ball. Make sure you're checking in with that low back and you start to feel it. Any sort of pain in that lower spine, and you know you've lost your pelvic tuck. Inside 15 seconds, we're gonna hold it up at the top. All right, go ahead and hold this next one up for me. Hold it nice and steady. We're just gonna squeeze those hands in and out. Working those delts, working those traps and those rhomboids just a little bit. Lats as well. If at any time you need to take it down, you need a reset, by all means, you can go ahead and do so. Now pay attention to that ball again. If you feel that steering wheel motion happening, take it slow and controlled. Try to even it out. How are those glutes doing? Mine are on fire. I'm sure yours are on fire. Inside 15. We're going to lay on our sides next. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, roll it on over to your sides. We're going to take this right underneath our rib cage here. We're going to go for a little side crunch. My knees are bent to add a little extra stability. If you want, you can take them all the way up. Hands are up by my head, just like I'm doing a little crunch here, and take it up. So my elbow is tapping down on the ground in between each time. After this, we're gonna go into another little side plank series here. We've got 2 side planks, one right after the other. Working those obliques. We've got about 10 more seconds here. And go ahead. You can come into a full side plank here, like stacked or staggered. I prefer mine staggered. You can stay on your knees if you like. We're gonna be on our elbow for this one. Ball is under my top arm. We're gonna just press down into the ball as we lift up into that side plank. Nice deep breath. Exhale and press. Inhale down, let yourself rest just a second. And then exhale, press. So we're working a little bit of that upper body, and of course working more of that side body, that core, that back, that chest. I've got my delt working here and my bottom arm as well. After this, we're gonna bring it up into a full plank all the way on that hand. If you have wrist issues, you can stay down on your elbow. Inside 10 seconds here. Last one. And go ahead and bring it on up into that side plank position. Again, you can be on your knees or in that full side plank. We're just gonna take that ball up to the sky, and I want you to go ahead and rotate down, thread through underneath your arm, just like you're threading a needle. Bring it back into that side plank each time. And if at any time you feel like you need to drop that bottom knee down, or you need to come down to your knees, you certainly can. Keeping that spine nice and healthy with a nice rotation here. After this, we're gonna go ahead and lay down on our back. We're gonna go into a bridge. Take it back to those glutes for a second. Inside 10 seconds here. Last one. And go ahead, bring it on down. We are halfway done with our entire exercises today. All right, go ahead. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Ball goes between my thighs again here. I want you to give it a little bit of a squeeze, just about 25% of your effort. We're gonna hold it there that whole time and just take it up into a bridge and lower back down. Keep that pelvis tucked under just a little bit here to make sure we're really focusing on those glutes. You might feel this in your hamstrings as well, and that's totally fine, but I want it to be mostly glute-centric exercise. Once we reach a minute, in about 15 seconds, we're gonna hold it at the top. Last one here, I want you to hold at the top. Hold it nice and steady. We're gonna go into a little march, just extending one leg out straight, bring it back down. Extend that other leg out straight, bring it back down. Don't lose the ball. Hold that little squeeze between your thighs the whole time. You're here for a whole minute. Take your time. Quality over quantity always. After this, We're gonna take it back to core exercises just a little bit. We're gonna be doing a leg lift and lower with that ball between our ankles or calves. About 20 seconds left. Here, those glutes are screaming. I know, but we're gonna give them a break in just a second. Give a little check, make sure they haven't fallen down. 10 seconds here. Let's do one more each side. And the last one. Whew. Go ahead, take it on down. Grab that ball. We're gonna put it right between those ankles. Legs are up, overhead. Keep a slight bend in those knees. Protect that low back if you need. We're gonna go for a little steering wheel motion. So we're taking our legs down one at a time, little bits. Watch me here. Now take it down just a point where you feel like you're gonna lose control of that low back. If it feels like it's about to come up off of the floor, that is your end range. And we're gonna work that end range position, and eventually over time we will increase it. But it is important to protect your low back and keep it where it needs to be safely. You're already about 20 seconds left here. And then we're gonna go in to a fun little V up here. We're gonna be passing the ball on and off. And then we are taking it back into our other side. And then we're almost done, can you believe it? All right, keep those legs up and rotated. Arms are up in line with those shoulders. Nice deep breath, exhale. Bring it up, grab the ball. Legs come down, arms come down. Exhale, bring it up, switch it off. Grab that ball with your legs. So we're going into a V up, and we're passing off between our hands and our feet each time. Using lots of core here. 50 more seconds. Ten more, don't give up on me, you can do it. We've only got a few more exercises left, last one here. And go ahead, bring it on up. We're gonna come to that other side. If you're at home, you can just go ahead and flip right around. All right, we're going into that side crunch again. Ball goes underneath that rib cage. Knees are bent and stacked, hands are up by your ear. Go ahead, take it on up. Try to take that elbow down to your hip. After this, we're going into that side plank press. I'm sure you remember it. Our little side body series here. And then guess what? After that, we only have a couple more exercises. And then we're done. We get a nice stretch. Inside 10 seconds on this one. Last one here. Bring it up into that side plank position. On your elbow. Hand is ready to press. Nice deep breath. Exhale, press it on up. Inhale down. Exhale, press. All right, after this, you know what's coming. We're gonna do that full side plank with the thread through. Again, if you need to come down to one knee or both knees, you certainly can. And if you need to stay on that elbow, you can do that as well. Inside 15 seconds here. And last one. And go ahead, bring it on up into that full plank position. Ball comes up towards the ceiling. And go ahead, thread that through the needle. Bring back up. This is your last plank, I promise. We have 2 more core exercises to wrap this up. but no more planks. Promise, we're done. Take your eyes with you. Eyes guide the spine. Inside 20 seconds. Last one here. Go ahead, bring it down. We're gonna come into a seated position. Oh no, it got away from me. There, one for the blooper reel. All right, so knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna go into a little earthquake ab series. I want you to take the ball and tuck it under your glutes just a little bit. Just go ahead, squish it down there like you've got a little bunny tail. Arms come straight out in line with those shoulders. Nice flat back hinge here. We're gonna hinge back just to the point where we start to feel those abs shake. See that little shake right there? Bring it back up. After this, we're going to add on a little rotation. We're doing the same movement, just adding on rotation each time. And then that will be your very last exercise. We're going to go ahead and stretch. Last one here. This time, as you go back, I want you to open those arms out to the side, little rotation, bring it back to center, sit up. We're going to go other side. Open those arms out, find that little earthquake. Bring it back to center. Make sure you're pausing in the middle each time. Sitting back up, nice tall back here before you go into the other rotation. Last couple here. We're inside 20 seconds. I'll do about one more each side. Last one here. Bring it on up. And you are done with all of that core, that crazy core exercise. We're gonna go ahead, lay it on back here. I like to keep my knees bent. I want you to take that ball right underneath your shoulder blades, right behind your rib cage. Just go ahead and extend yourself over that ball. Take a nice stretch here. Breathe nice and deeply here. Let yourself relax, stretching out that core and that spine. All right, go ahead, roll on over to one side. Grab that ball on out. Get over to the side, we're all done with it. We're gonna go into a little figure four stretch, taking my right ankle over my left knee and grab behind my left thigh, pull those legs in as deeply as I feel. Just work within that range of motion. You'll feel this right along that glute. Go ahead, uncross those legs. We're gonna go for the other side. Left ankle over right knee. Hold this for a few breaths. Go ahead, uncross those legs. Bring it on back to a seated position here. We're gonna go for a little inner thigh stretch to wrap things up because we used a lot of inner thigh today. Just go into a little butterfly here. Palms of your feet come together like you're in a little prayer position. Take those knees down to the ground as far as you can. They don't have to come all the way down to the ground. If you want, you can deepen the stretch by adding a little pressure by pressing on those inner thighs. And you can do a little pulse forward here if you'd like. Last deep breath here. All right, and that is it. That is our full exercise today. Killer core and a little bit of smoke on those buns. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough because without you, I would not be here. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me.